Hello, config. How's everybody doing? Yeah. My name is Anthony DeSpezio. I work on the advocacy team here at Figma. We've heard a lot about expressiveness through materials like code and the canvas, and the tools that shape the way we think, create, and collaborate. As we imagine the next generation of tools, our next speakers offer a perspective that's both technical and deeply human. They invite us to think about software as something we learn, tune, and even perform with. Please join me in welcoming Jade Rose and James Coyne.
Hello, I am Switch Angel. This is Lo-Fi Sci-Fi. We think making music and art with code is the coolest thing in the world. Before we talk about it, I'd like to show you. With this baseline, I will create my foundation. On this foundation, I will build a world of love and light. The melody's the sky. Harmonics reaching upwards, forming an atmosphere. Reverb floods the ocean and fills the deep. A kick drum becomes the beating heart of my world. These life-giving elements attract. Ever-flowing, moving, evolving. I wandered alone in my new world for millennia, searching for truth in all things. I became the wind, the sky, and the earth. And when I took it all in, I understood nothing would ever be the same. And when I took it all in, I understood nothing would ever be the same.
Good morning, Config. That's me on the left. My name is James Coyne. I'm primarily a creative technologist, visual artist, and software engineer. But before I talk about myself too much, I want to talk to you about my friend Jade. About 8 years ago, I stumbled across her music through an online synthesizer community. Very quickly, I was enchanted by the beautiful melodies on her first album, Moonstone, and immediately I knew one day I would be speaking to an audience at Figma Config about her audio-visual collaborative projects.
Yes, thank you. I have been making electronic music for a long time, 20 years. I have also been a luthier, someone who builds stringed instruments. I've sang in rock bands, and I've worked professionally in music production. And more recently, in the past few years, I've become a software engineer, which is something I started as a hobby to build better musical instrument interfaces for myself that has turned into a very rewarding career. My first project that ever got attention on the internet was in 2015 or so. My explorations were enabled by my local library in Kansas, providing free access to a very expensive and unique system. This is a replica of a 1960s large format modular synthesizer. These machines had some peculiar qualities. For one, they were designed by engineers, seemingly without any musical intention in mind. Their limitations were primarily related to the components and circuits for electronic test equipment that was available at the time. And because of this, you had to invent your own music theory for yourself. This is when I inadvertently learned about polymeter in the form of multiple sequences of uneven lengths running over each other and creating a constantly evolving musical fractal, which has since become central to my artistic practice.
In the prior years before meeting Jade, I had found myself getting interested in creative coding through P5.js, creating fractals, patterns, cellular automata, and animations, all with code. This later led me to opportunities where I created concert visuals for a few local artists. This is me performing at the Charles Hayden Planetarium in Boston. My interest in creative coding also led me to my first creative technology role at a local design studio, where I further developed my interest in real-time video and creative coding. This would also be where I'd meet Jade and begin my collaboration with her. The photo you see behind me is of us preparing for one of our first gigs in the office's sound studio after hours.
This is an early example of a large-scale creative tech project James and I worked on early in our careers. We were brought in by our friends at Masari Studios in Boston to help with a large-scale audiovisual installation called Say What You Will, which was exhibited at Canal Convergence, a public art festival in Scottsdale, Arizona. People would speak into a terminal. A sentiment analysis would be performed, which would then evolve the visuals over the canal in real time. James helped with the technical and networking implementation, and I composed an hour of original music for the project, which eventually became my third album, Realms. This was an important experience for both of us. We learned how a professional creative studio envisions an art project, creates a meaningful story, and hacks tech to bring a conceptual, abstract experience into reality.
Meeting Jade and sharing an interest in creating systems with simple rules that create infinite complexity, we found ourselves to be an inseparable pair. Mixing Jade's mesmerizing dance music with my visual art, soon enough we started performing together as an audiovisual duo in a variety of venues, from contemporary art spaces to music festivals, clubs, and even academic spaces around the world.
My recent explorations into musical interfaces have been mostly consumed by Strudel, which is the program that you saw me performing with earlier. Strudel is a free and open source patterning language and code IDE for expressing musical ideas. In 2023, I stumbled across the early stages of the project and immediately was captivated. For years, I had been frustrated by limitations in computer music interfaces and hardware. They made a lot of assumptions about the kind of style and the kind of music that I wanted to create, and those assumptions were incorrect. Even as something as simple as polymeter, multiple sequences of uneven lengths running over each other was difficult, tedious, or sometimes impossible. There was also a lack of immediacy and connection. For instance, I'm a luthier, and I pay a lot of attention to how people perform music, and I think about it a lot. When you see someone play guitar, there's a clear cause and effect. When you see someone strumming an instrument, to the sound you hear, it is intuitive, and it invites the audience to participate in the flow state of the artist. With Strudel, I saw an opportunity to take my experience as a luthier, instrument builder, and electronic music fanatic, to take the concepts I learned and help expand it into a fully realized, expressive instrument. I quickly began adding a lot of features, and it became a core maintainer for the project, which has since become a global collaboration of a small group of passionate individuals who really believe in it. I have also adopted the role of communicator and evangelist for the project, making viral performing videos and sharing my concepts. I've developed my own personal patterning music theory, which I love sharing with others in the form of workshops and videos. The project has grown a lot in just a short time and is now performed in pop music concerts, dance clubs around the world, taught in classrooms to kids as young as 8 years old, and adults in college programs and also workshops. Musical performance with Strudel falls under the umbrella of a new media art form called live code. For me, live code in spirit can be encapsulated as using and extending code as a tool to create beautiful things, meaningful experiences, or experiments. We are not interested in capturing markets. We are making art with code to satisfy our persistent curiosity and passion. It is a growing global community where people share their creations openly, parts exposed, so others can use them for their own creation and inspiration.
Live code isn't exclusive to music. A large amount of voices in the live code space are visual artists as well. The same paradigms of freedom that pulled Jade into live code inspire me in the visual art practice as well. I feel limited and constrained by creative tools that make assumptions about my goals, providing nested menus and hidden complexity that feels needlessly limited to me. Coming from a software engineering background, it pains me to see complexity managed so poorly. And for the past 2 years, I've been building my own tools and software on top of the real-time node-based video engine, Touch Designer. Rather than presenting the user any fixed interfaces, Touch Designer establishes a few primitive data types and functions, inputs and outputs, and encourages the user to solve their problems themselves. There's no set way to use the engine. What you make of it is totally up to you.
Every step along the way, we've been primarily motivated by those around us. The live code community has been a continued source of inspiration to our work.
For the two of us, it started in 2023 when we got involved with the New York live code community, which became a major inspiration to the concerts, artist talks, and lectures we would later organize with our own local community, Live Code Boston, which we founded along with our peers in 2024 and was inspired by the openness and collaborative values presented to us by the Global Creative Code Art Network. What you're seeing behind us is footage from one of our first concerts, in which we converted a children's education center in Cambridge into a 5,000 square foot live code nightclub, hosting a lineup of local artists. Moments after this video was recorded, the building's optical fire alarm system was triggered by our smoke machine, which caused mandatory evacuation of the space and a quick visit from the fire department, which is something I'd encourage you to remember if you're ever in the same position.
At this point, we've been building a strong network of artists whose work that we love, working individually, but pursuing a lot of the same goals. We want to share our process. We want to show our screens. We want to use technology to self-actualize and build beautiful, meaningful things. We desire connection. We prioritize people over machines. It feels like we are at the very beginning of discovering what is possible. This art form is still very new, and the archetypes for what you can do have yet to be established. For this reason, it feels like a playground of pure creativity.
Electronic music has had a long-standing culture of inclusivity, innovation, and development that feels exciting to me. I think a lot about why I work around these spaces that are primarily dominated by musicians, since most of my interest is in visual art. In these spaces, there's a very strong sense of synesthesia, where sound, light, and language are all interoperable and interconnected. The two form an ongoing dialogue with each other. My live video work only exists while it's projected, and embracing impermanence, improvisation can be difficult to find in other visual art practices, while live code performance embraces it fully. Additionally, software is never done, and building my own tools for creating, performing, and composing computer graphic systems, iterating on my own tools and practices, the project with Jade is in a continued state of rebirth. Exploring a visual language to understand and express the world alongside Jade has given my work purpose. We use our project to understand ourselves and each other as we move through life together.
I think the aesthetic of code in art is absolutely fascinating. Throughout my life, I have struggled with some persistent feelings of unreality, like there's something I'm supposed to be or do, but I can never quite figure out what it is. I lose myself in science fiction world building found in books and visual media, with a standout that's been with me for a long time being Ghost in the Shell. I come back to this world often. I have been enamored by the themes of using technology to self-actualize and become a truer version of yourself. I want to become more real. Earlier this year, we attended a presentation by our colleague, Melanie Hoff, where she presented connections of code and language and how they are powerful tools for shaping and understanding reality. Just like how spoken language shapes our understanding of ourselves and our world, seeing the structure of a raw work as its raw components, the language of code, is a window into the reality the artist is constructing in their own mind.
In many ways, the last decade of technology has felt like a massive disappointment and missed potential. A techno-future promised to us that felt optimistic, filled with dreams of tools to enhance connection, ownership, and knowledge, has started to feel perverse. We feel closed in, surveilled, isolated, and uncertain.
There is a persistent nihilism, even among leaders who should know better, with naive sentiments of machines over humanity, and even going so far as to suggest that intelligence itself is a commodity. We reject these notions. When I perform as Switch Angel, I present a sort of power fantasy, where an individual can not just use tech, but truly command it. I want to use my tools as an extension of myself to self-actualize, create beautiful things, and grow into my own power. This is not just a fantasy. You only need to look in the right places.
For the past few years, we've been exploring, contributing, and helping grow creative tech communities. One of the most influential groups to us was in our hometown of Boston, Massachusetts. We get together with our friends each month for an event series called Boston Tech Codex, a creative technology and philosophy group that meets to share projects, present ideas, and learn from monthly speakers. Additionally, we've also been influenced by the new genre of terminally online, para-institution, new media art theorist groups, such as Do Not Research.
Exploring creative tech communities that are driven by passion, connection, and persistent curiosity has led me to a strong belief that narratives around where good ideas come from are wrong, or sometimes even inverted. I now believe the coolest ideas in tech are coming from small niche communities who believe in something, not the top down. We're sold on the idea that certain futures are inevitable, but I believe that in reality, we as individuals have more power than ever to envision and create future tech.
What's the role of a massive proprietary software company when anyone can spin up the exact tool they need in almost no time at all? If the status quo feels obsolete, it's time for us to turn to each other in our community and build new structures, new narratives, and new futures that promote justice, peace, and freedom that we all know we deserve. Thank you. In a world of self-starting, we believe that the most influential cultural movements of the next decades will be coming from the small groups of outsiders rather than from the top down, and it's already happening.
Before our ending demo, I want to share a bit of optimism that I've gained from exploring these creative tech communities. I see empowered individuals using passion, persistent curiosity to cooperate, hack the world around them, and build personalized tools for shaping and improving their reality. I believe that an optimistic techno future is possible, but we need to be deliberate and value the right things. I'd like to end our demo with this guidance from one of my idols, Dr. Ursula Franklin, physicist, author, educator, researcher, and activist, who proposed a framework for determining the ethical worthiness of a project. I'd invite you to consider the following as you're building your next cool thing. Does it promote justice? Does it restore reciprocity? Does it confer divisible or indivisible benefits? Is the reversible favored over the irreversible? Does its strategy maximize gain or minimize disaster? Is conservation favored over waste? wisely? Does it favor people over machines? Thank you.
That was amazing. What a way to push the boundaries of creation. I'm floored. One more round of applause. Okay, so we got another amazing day full of talks for all of you. We hope you enjoy them. Please go make new friends, watch all of the inspiring talks, drop by the Figma Product Studio and say hi to our team. And we look forward to seeing you later this afternoon to come back together for closing. Have a great day.